Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attacker Productions. Today I'm back off being joined by quite a few people as we go into our final Indy 500 lap. So with that being said, we have Austin piloting the King Piccolo race car, followed by Nick who is using the Turles car. And in the pit crew with me is Jimmy as well.
Yes, sir.
Why are we doing this reference?
Because we've done that for all week so far and we're going to continue doing it.
Okay, I've not seen anything.
With that being said, there are buttons. If you like to click them, please do. If you don't, that's fine as well. But we're going over our duel. Or, sorry,
Don't let Bancroft pressure you into clicking buttons. Only click them if you like to.
Exactly. But
Who doesn't like clicking buttons, especially that subscribe button?
But Austin, Nick, let's go over your decks and talk about the game.
Nah. I just completely derailed this. Okay, let's go back. Go ahead, Nick.
Well, there's not much has happened just yet. I think you go first. So,
Yeah.
but
Go in the idea of the deck
Turles-
itself.
yeah, Turles, what it likes to do is it likes to be pretty aggro. Turn 2, turn 3 at the most is as far as it wants to go. It uses the Tree of Might, which is an extra card that gets played in the opponent's battle area. It lets you get the fruit of the Tree of Might, which gives all your Turles double strikers as an activate battle card. Plus 20,000 power, so you go really tall with swings. So it's perfect. Really aggro.
Yeah,
And
go ahead.
This is a rough matchup for King Piccolo. King Piccolo kind of has to get a solid hit early on in the for defense. Otherwise, starting with 6 life, you only have to swing 3 times with Turles to win the game. So it basically King Piccolo starts out a whole turn behind in the Turles matchup, which most of the time is not going to be an issue if you're a good defensive player, but sometimes you just get a bad hand and you can't defend against Turles's, very tall attacks.
Yeah, and the issue too is a lot of the red negates people use aren't just like the gates. There's the counters like -15. They're not negates. So it's like the only red negate like I run is Topo in this deck. So you just gotta be smart and know when to kind of eat the leader swings. I think the first swing you do with Tree of the Might, I do actually combo out of, and it was a risky play, just us comboing out of that. So I didn't block it, and he just went into it, and I can't remember. I thought I was right there to swing here. Sorry. But yeah, sometimes you just got to think about what's I had to think a lot ahead of this because I'm glad I played against this I think a couple times before this match, and with Jimmy and his version he made, and I had to think a few steps ahead. I'm like, all right, so this turn is going to be this, but I have to think about what his next turn is going to be and what's going to look like. And
one thing I enjoyed about this matchup in particular is both decks really rely on the combo step for both strategies. Like with Turles, it's all about using the fruit, comboing your little weenies to get them out on the board. But for King Piccolo on the Awaken side, it has the Activate Battle where you're comboing from your life. So it's a very skill intensive right in the middle of the game, which I think is one of the more fun parts because it's where you can have the most interactions with your opponent, making them play more cards, making them take damage, making them think a little bit more about how they're going to finish a turn out, which was really enjoyable, and it's one of my more and more my favorite matches.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this match too. I like how both King Piccolo and Turles help each other awaken pretty early, and it's just fun. It's a weird complimentary yet I feel like it's a very skill intensive game when you play against these two decks against each other.
As the Turles player, you have to really think about flipping your opponent's life, because King Piccolo has the ability to awaken with 2 face-up life. So you could have a situation where you just let your opponent awaken, very early on. Like right here, he's in awakening range, solely because of your Tree of Might on your opponent's field, flipping their life face up. So you could really do some funky things with Tree of Might, forcing your opponent to flip their life face down and getting them out of awakening range, especially in like a kill turn. If they have 2 life up and they're wanting to awaken during their battle step, you can just flip it face down with Tree of Might or Fruit of the Tree of Might, and now they have to really focus on either comboing out or just taking that damage that they weren't going to take due to their awakening.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes a very skill-intensive matchup on both players' part, and it adds a whole another level to these cards that have very shallow effects when you think about it, but makes them super dynamic.
And if correct, the King Piccolo's ability to switch out energy, that's just on the front side, because on the back side, it's when you swing, you get to switch 3 cards, right?
It's always when you swing. So what it is, the first one is you just swing, you put a Demon Clan or a Namekian in your life, and you take a life, and then you just swap them out, and the Awaken side is up to 3.
Okay.
So it just allows you to put more.
Which kind of goes against, like, Turles likes to choose what life you take when they swing on you. But on your turn, they don't give you the life you want. You go, okay, I'm going to swing and take it anyways.
Yeah, it was really fun. Like, I remember when playing it a couple times, it's just, I was so afraid of, like, them forcing me to take which life I want. And it was just like right here, I think he flips the life, and I'm just like a little like worried about what life I'd want to pick. But when you realize if you get a life, like, oh, well, I'll take that one, cool. Well, if it's a Namekian or Demon Clan, I can just put it back in my life.
And I hate that he does this, but I do have to say it is a solid card. It is a solid defensive tech.
Was that something nice?
Yeah, it is something nice. Only because I'm a fan of Xenoverse. Okay, not that I'm a fan of Xeno and Turles. Okay.
And like I said in the last time, I don't go up the full Xeno chain. I just stop at this one, just because the 20k blocker is really nice. With most swings, they'll have to combo up if they want to get rid of it. And then I can combo with my little weenies and get them back out on the board. Because as you see, I only have is the Turles right now, but all it takes is just one combo, and then everything's back out.
Yeah, Turles is such a resilient deck. In that every card in the deck is both defensive and offensive. Like most decks, you have to have a offensive package and a defensive package. Where Turles, every card is running double duty in the deck, which is a very interesting way to play the game. Like Tree of Might is a fantastic defensive card, while it's also the best defensive card you have in the game, or in your deck. It's just such a fun deck to play. Like the first couple of times that I played it, I was like, this is so overwhelming because every card has running double duty and I don't know when to use it. But once you get into that rhythm, it is very, very fun.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Like it's helmet and the fact that you don't really have much tech in your deck. It's just mostly the Turles cards, where most of the strategy comes is how you're going to play those Turles cards. So you use them for offense to push yourself going higher. You use them for defense to protect yourself or get more bodies on the board. Like it's all about piloting the deck, which is you don't really see with most archetype strategies. Usually it's just you play the archetype and that's all you do. But with Turles, you have to actually just have more strategy and read the board and read the opponent and read what you're doing and what they're doing at the same time. So pretty good with the skill, and I like it.
That's the same with King Piccolo too, because this deck, if you mess up your sequencing slightly, it really ruins your game, and you have to be real smart to like keep it up, like try to figure out what you want to do next, because you can still kind of like go with the whole like I'm just going to swing with my tambourine or try to get the King Piccolo SR out. But in this game, I think I never get the King Piccolo SR out, and I know it's gonna be hard to get out. So I just kind of like try to play without even trying to get that out in the field. I'm like, okay, I can't do the chain, so how do I do this? How to do the combo. So, and I had to think a lot because you were being really smart with your defensive plays and really smart with your energy consumption.
Yeah, and one thing that I was worried about too was that Unison, because I had everything in my hand just to recombo and play everything out. But what I was waiting for was you to either plus or minus the Unison just so I could safely do that, because your Unison would get rid of all my weenies, so it'd be like there would be no point in having it on the board or comboing with them. So I was waiting for that to go through, which it never happened. So most of my stuff is in my hand, and it's pretty fat for the most part. But I didn't want you swinging anymore, so dormant.
Ooh, the forbidden tech, paying 1 energy for dormant potential.
Yeah. Well, I honestly didn't see a Unison the whole game. I don't think. Which
what you ran Unisons?
Yeah, I did. As you see, I charged a Frieza, so yeah, there's Unisons in there. It's just four of the Demigra, just so I can use the Unisons. But yeah, I didn't see it in the game, which kind of hurt. Just so I didn't, because I had to use energy for my tech instead of playing it for free. And especially it hurts more in the early game where most of this game is pretty fast.
Yeah.
Because I need free. I can't waste my energy just to stop an attack or use it to combo. I need it for my plays. So it kind of hurt me not seeing that Unison.
Yeah. This is still, I love this combo so much. Champa B versus Tambourine. And because even Dorm Potential, you have to deal with, you're like, okay, well, Dorm. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, there's one 40k double strike, and now another 40k double strike. And right there, just reading Dorm Potential to make sure I had the idea correct of what I wanted to do. And yeah, that combo is so much fun in this deck. It's really helped me around Dorm Potential because you're like, oh man, all I have is usually single strikes, but being able to get 2 40k double strike swings in really solidifies the aggro.
So I do think that's you just activated Rejuvenate on your Unison.
Mm-hmm.
In my personal opinion, I think that Unison is probably the best Rejuvenate Unison in the game just because of how cheap and easy it is to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And due to the Unison also having a very, very relevant skill outside of Rejuvenate.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's a legit Unison. Like I think it's really, really dope for what it does.
I would agree too, yeah.
Like I have not found any success in any other Rejuvenate decks. King Piccolo is the only one that, at least in my testing, the little I played with the deck, I have at least rejuvenated once every single game I played.
What's the blue one again for Rejuvenate?
That's the Frieza Cell. I don't remember the exact wording of the card.
I think that's the one I haven't really seen tested yet because I've messed with the green one, which was okay. I like the fact that Rejuvenate's a separate skill, so it's not part of the markers. King Piccolo is part of its -2 effect, but King Piccolo also has was that symbols that on play activate main? I think is what it is. You could just load a card and gives it a marker as well, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And I know the cooler. You could just take a +1, takes a card from and puts a card in it from your drop area, so you're getting rid of extra cards you don't really need anymore because they're already in your drop. So I agree. I think King Piccolo is one of the best so far I've seen when it comes to just gaining markers naturally.
This was the double strike I was thinking I comboed out of.
And it's
was that 3 super combos?
It's always disheartening when you see that many on the board. You're just like, well, fuck.
Pulling 1 from the life is also just so nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in retrospect, you did fruit on that, correct?
Yeah.
Did you flip a life face down?
Technically, we did it backwards looking at it. He flipped a life face up instead of flipping 1 down.
Yeah, so in that situation, you could have just targeted the Piccolo to flip it face down, or the super combo to flip it face down, which could have been a game changer, but I'm sure Austin had at least 2 more cards he could combo to make up for that 1 super combo.
Yeah. And I had plenty. That's the thing with King Piccolo. You have plenty of combo power in this deck, and I'm still looking forward to also getting Piccolo Jr. the King Scion, because another negate actually you can run this deck for free if you have Unison out, so it give you a little more defensive. But this deck has so much combo power, like it's the most combo power intensive deck that I think I've used since my old Bernhan from set 7.
So that's just a disgusting play on the Turles side. Like, you get so much value off of those weenies for literally 0 energy. And Beerus is just even more value because a lot of people don't activate main on Beerus enough. Like, that card, that is a solid activate main from the drop area.
Oh, yeah. It's good, especially when you don't really have much you're playing with, or if you don't have if you're like I need to finish a turn out, but I can at least do something, which is nice.
Yeah, I remember asking what that. I remember the activate main did. He told me, I was like, oh yeah, I don't want to KO that. No. Yeah, I did not want that in there. That and that can turn right Unison if he doesn't want me doing the -4 again.
Yeah.
I did run that 3-drop. I think I'm gonna call him Turles. Gosh dang it, the 3-drop Bardock that drops 3 markers onto a card. But honestly, I did not like running in the deck. It was clunky. Like, it wasn't clunky in the sense that it made your hand like you couldn't use it, but I either charged it or comboed with it. I really don't think that a 3-drop Bardock is that great in this for the SR from, I think it was set 11, was it?
Strategic Mind Bardock, I believe.
Yeah, that one.
Card.
Yeah, I got it right here. Tell me why I'm not reading the.
Yeah. I completely agree with you on that. I feel like in King Piccolo, if you're dedicating 3 energy to putting markers on a Unison to rejuvenate, you basically just spent an entire turn just to gain 1 life, and most of the time that 1 life is not really going to change the game. Unless your opponent has the ability to only deal 1 damage to you and you're at 1 life, then yeah, that 1 life is going to be invaluable. But how many situations are you going to be in where your opponent doesn't have the ability to throw a double striker on field?
I fully agree with you. I generally think if you're spending 3 life for that card to add 3 markers, you have just lost the game for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a losing state already. I think it's better to try to like swing out and try to finish the game, because if you pass, you're going to die either way.
Yeah, it's this deck has too many options where you can combo out with from the life. It has too many options where you can free play too. So like, I can see why people think it's a good. Well, you can just free play, all your Demon Clan, but like the good cards that help this deck, like if you run some red green stuff, like Champa Beerus, that the rare Piccolo right there, right? EX Evolve and something. Those all cost an energy to use, so you're wasting that extra tech and potential to your deck.
So I want to pull out real quick. When Nick got rid of the your Unison, he was able to maintain his blocker, actually. Because of order of operations, he would have counterattack. You as turn player could have used your auto to kill his blocker before he had a chance to block with it. So getting rid of the Unison was very smart on that part.
Yeah.
It's fair too, yeah. I think he even mentioned that, and then I think we talked about it in the whole popping it for I can't remember what it was, but
yeah, that Unison is dangerous against weenies, and
yeah,
this deck is Weenie Hut Jr., so
it this is the
last push for defense.
Yeah. I remember, I forget that your weenies are 3,000 combo power, so you were counting up, and you kept counting and counting and counting, and I think you were like 2,000 short from just the 75,000 I'd comboed with.
And that's kind of the downside with the weenies, I guess, because they're only 3,000 combo pieces, so like when you get pushed into that corner, that really hurts in the long run. I mean, Grant, 1 energy, 20k, right? You have to flip a card face down.
Yeah. I mean, like, just off of Fruit of the Tree and Might, it usually makes up for that 3k combo power easily.
Yeah.
But you do get in those situations where you literally only need a 5k combo and can't get there due to the weenies.
Yeah.
which is unfortunate, but I guess the deck has to have some sort of weakness because swinging 20k or like 35,000 double strike for 1 energy is kind of good.
It's pretty good.
I mean, it's mid range, and then you just pass the turn and go, oops, dorm potential for free. Well, sorry, that's that day. Yes, I think that has to be the one downside of the deck.
Yeah, because like with a combo intensive deck like King Piccolo, where you have like the 3 super combos I run, then I run the 3 Piccolo Juniors, and I can combo out of them with a life for free. So that's like 6 plus 10Ks for free.
Mm-hmm.
It really kind of hurts in that sense. But like you said, the massive potential of the 35k double strikes it's daunting. So you have to really play around that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Sure.
With that being said, thank you all for tuning in. It does seem like Austin managed to take the checkered flag before anyone else this weekend. So, kudos to you. And with that being said, let's go do some last words. Nick?
Big fan of Turles. Like what it does. It's worth a try. It's a very cheap deck to play and build. So, if you want to spend like $20, build a Turles deck, do it.
Minus the dormant potentials and freezes, because those are somewhat expensive.
For sure.
Nah. You already have those. You bought them early, set 10. So
if you got like $50, you can just go buy a 9 mil off your buddy, and then all your cards are free.
Austin, last words.
King Piccolo, I've been calling him recently. KP is really fun, and I'm saddened to see Billy Joel in that match. He's my favorite card in the deck, but it's a fun deck, and we're messing around with it more.
Jimmy?
Does anybody know how to deal with like garbage issues in City Skylines? Like, I've been really struggling the past couple of.
Yeah, I saw you playing that earlier.
Yeah, I've been struggling. I've been trying to look it up online. Everybody's just like, build an incinerator, stupid, and I do, but they still got garbage issues. Like, I have like 15 dumps just lined up in a row, and that's the only way I know how to fix it, and it just looks ugly.
Is it anything like SimCity? Because if it's like SimCity, all you gotta do is make sure the trucks are on the right path.
I mean, like, I have decent pathways for the trucks. Like, I got my roads down pat. It's just they keep filling up too fast.
But you got your horses in the back.
Shut the fuck up.
With that being said, thank you all for tuning in. And like always, read your cards, know your plays, and fluff out.